Time is running out to avoid what could become the most disruptive strike to the U.S. economy in decades. Tens of thousands of port workers are set to walk off the job at midnight Eastern Time. The looming strike could shut down 14 ports. You see them there, from Maine to Texas. Talks between the union and major shipping lines have stalled. At issue here, pay raises and port automation. Matthew Shay is the CEO and President of the National Retail Federation, and he's here to discuss with us. Thank you so much. A lot of people, I think, don't even realize this is happening, but they will soon enough. What is this going to look like?
Yeah, well, Brianna, I think what we're facing is something that truly is unprecedented. We haven't seen a stoppage at a port since 2002 on the West Coast. That was an 11-day strike, and that resulted in 6 months of backlogs and delays. So we're talking about everything from produce to energy to automotive parts, pharmaceuticals, healthcare, and of course the things that are coming in for the holiday season. And some of those are seasonal goods that have been pulled forward. So normally the busiest shipping months of the year are August, September, October for the fall season and the holiday season. This year we saw that move back to June, July, August. So people did try to prepare. But in my conversations, even with the CEOs of the largest retailers in the country, there's only so much you can do to prepare for this, because some of these items either aren't ready to be shipped or they're not appropriate to be stored all that time. They can't be rerouted to the West Coast for cost reasons. So they're going to have real implications if we shut the ports down. The
American Farm Bureau mentioned that 1.2 million metric tons of bananas, for instance, about a quarter of the nation's supply, go through these ports that could be on strike that we mentioned here. What's the effect on the supply chain, which I think people's reference point is really the pandemic, on bananas and more broadly going to be?
Yeah, well, the East Coast ports are responsible for more than 40% of what we bring into the United States on an annual basis. So it's almost half of what we're importing. And the West Coast ports are operating almost at capacity already, although they've got the ability to take some of those goods that could be rerouted. But of course, the things that we'll recognize and experience first are perishable items, food products. There will be beverages, the drinks product. The end of the year, holiday season is a big time for celebrating various holidays and get-togethers and gatherings. So much of the wine and beer that comes into this country and spirits is imported as well. So I think there's a whole range of factors that'll happen. And as customers move away from those items that, say in the perishables category, that aren't available, they'll substitute. And as they move to substitute for other goods, then those goods will cost more. So it's going to have a ripple effect. And I think at a time when we're just turning the corner on inflation after 2.5 years of really high inflation, what we're going to do now is raise prices again. And that's the last thing the economy needs, and particularly with your segments on what's happening in the Southeast and the hurricane, the worst possible time to shut these ports on the East Coast when these people that are really in dire circumstances need relief.
Yeah, very good point there. So I mentioned what this is about. It's about pay and it's about automation. And what these port workers or the union representing them wants is a pay raise that ultimately would put them at a place slightly higher than what their West Coast counterparts make. They're also opposing fully automated equipment, which the shippers say, hey, we need this to be competitive. Where do you see this landing? Is this a fair ask that they're asking for the workers?
Well, we've had many conversations with the administration, with the White House. Yesterday I spoke with Secretary of Labor Julie Su about this. We've talked to the Council of Economic Advisors going all the way back to the beginning of this year, and official talks between the U.S. maritime shippers, USMX, and the ILA broke down in June. So there haven't been any official conversations. We haven't weighed in on the issues involved here. Those are for the parties to sort out and settle. I think our view is to see the economy continue and the supply chain to continue to function effectively. We don't think it's appropriate to shut the economy down over a labor dispute. Anytime any bargaining unit closes an individual location, whether it's a retail location, a manufacturing distribution facility, there are implications for those workers, those families, those communities. But this is on a scale beyond what a single bargaining unit could do anywhere else. If you shut the economy down over these issues, it seems sensible to keep the parties talking, to try to resolve this, and not to bring the economy to its knees and crash the economy as a negotiating tactic.
Matthew Shay, thank you so much for your insights. We do appreciate it.
Thanks, Brianna.
And still to come.